Jody, I'm back. Good to see you. We're back. Happy Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday. Guess where we are here? Guess where we are? Oh, what's that? Back at the A-frame. Back at Lake Fair. Don't have any camera stands or nothing here. Still alive? Back at the lake. Back at the A-frame. Back at Grunthal, whatever this is, camping RV place. We're not staying in the A-frame. How are you all doing today? I don't have a laptop set up. I don't have nothing set up. We do have Max. Max is here. Say hi, Max. Aiden, welcome in. Back at the campground in somewhere in Manitoba. Tag, welcome in. Catch up on the chats in just a second here. You gotta go poop, don't you? Poop. All right, it's been a while. I think the last time I saw you guys, I was still in BC, British Columbia. We weren't fishing there, but we're going to be fishing here for sure. Get you guys caught up on what's been going on. Get you all caught up. There's not much to say. It's dick all going on. Ooh, fishing spot. I remember. You guys remember fishing over here? I'll do some angling later. All right, we're staying over there. Gonna pitch a tent here tonight. Just back in the hood, taking care of some business. I gotta get my emote game going. I gotta get those custom emotes. Oh, water's pretty high here, actually. I gotta go sit on the beach too. All right. I just got here. I gotta set up camp. Spent the last week and a half, almost 2 weeks in Winnipeg. Shitty old Winnipeg. Big shitty. It sucked. But now we're back in the country. Get you all caught up. Tweakahs! Welcome in, Tweakah Mitchell. All right, so here's my rig for, here's my setup so far. This is what I've got set up so far. Let's do a quick overnight here. Good to see you all. We got some camping shit, some sticks for weenie roast. I think I got a tent here. First things first, set up a lawn chair. How's Max? Max, why don't you tell Brandon how you're doing? Hey. Ooh, big smile on his face. Actually, yeah, the last couple of weeks have been a little chaotic. There's stories to tell. Wish I didn't have stories, but unfortunately, there's stories. There's always stories. Sitting right there. Always gotta be stories. How come there's always stories? You know, when there's stories, that means things aren't going that great. Living out of a bag today. There's a tent. Max, set up the tent. So where to begin? I guess at the beginning. It's literally been what, over 2 weeks since you saw this hairy head, this hairy old head. Let's have a sit down and a Dr. Pepper. Justin in the house, chairman of the board of the La Rata Foundation for Wayward Tweakers. Oh yeah, let's get the fishing poles unpacked. That's the most important part. Get the rods out. We'll keep them right here. Oh shit, we got lots of firewood here. Thought there was a fire pit here. I have to go snag one. Yeah, whatever. Well, whatever. We'll figure it out. Thought there was a fire pit here. We'll get a fire pit. We'll get a Dr. Pepper, yeah. Here we go. Right there. Yeah, so we departed Clearwater, British Columbia on June 23rd. So I forget if I told you guys all what the plan was. There's the sound of the Joubert Creek background right behind me. Nail some fishies. Sorry, I can't get a nice angle here. That's not too bad. So one of my buddies from Clearwater, he's originally from Manitoba. He drove the truck back, this truck, and I had rented a car hauler from U-Haul. So we stuck his car on the back, and then I drove the RV back to Manitoba, and then he stayed here for a week or so to visit his family, and then drove his car back to BC. So basically I paid for his one-way trip to get out here, and then he drove back, I guess last week. I think he spent a week here, so just under a week. So we left, June 23rd, which was a Tuesday, and arrived in Manitoba the following day on the 24th. There's 30 hours of driving, or 30 hours from door to door, basically. There was a brief 4-hour stopover in Alberta, took a quick nap, and then pushed on to Manitoba, but it wasn't uneventful. It seemed that halfway through the trip, I was unable to use my credit card to pay for gas. always fun. Let's see what's going on here. So all was going along quite well till we got to, I think it was, well, pretty much Edmonton, Alberta. And then my credit card started getting declined, and I was using Apple Pay on my phone. And like, thank you so much to the credit card company. They put a hold on my transactions because I was using Apple Pay. So I was on the phone trying, literally begging them to get get the hold removed. I told them, like, I'm a card holder and I'm the only one using this Apple Pay. It's not a problem. They're like, oh, with credit card transactions, Apple Pay is really susceptible to fraud. It's like, well, there's no fraud going on. If there was, I'd be calling you. But in any case, I had to drain whatever shekels were left in my checking accounts. I used whatever was left on my other credit card, and then had to borrow $500 from York. We were in Yorkton, and I just couldn't get the credit card company to release the hold. So my buddy wired me $500 so we could get the vehicles the rest of the way here, and that's, you know, thank you to my unnamed buddy. He's the one that we're going to be building a house for, just outside of Winnipeg. And we made it here, yeah. Not last Wednesday. Almost 2 weeks ago, Wednesday, the 24th. So rolled into town, and it's been raining like almost every day. Sunday, today's Monday, no, today's Tuesday. Yesterday it poured rain in the morning. Sunday was the only day that it didn't rain for like an entire 36 hours. And so my buddy bought this rural property. And he can't even get a driveway put in because it's been so wet and soggy. So the project is kind of proceeding very slowly. So when I got into Winnipeg, I ended up just staying with my buddy who's a security guy at this really sketch storage yard where I have my stuff. And that was just shitty. Like, it was not great. I was gonna do a live stream from there, but it was too chaotic. I don't even know how to describe it. It just wasn't an ideal situation. So yesterday we finally moved my RV from the storage yard, my RV and the truck from the storage yard to the lot out where the home build's gonna be. About 15 minutes outside of Winnipeg. And finally able to kind of settle down. Like, Max didn't like it at the storage yard. There's people coming and going, and my buddy, he's a little bit loud and off the rails. It might have made some good tweaker content, but I kind of didn't want to feature that kind of. I don't know. We might revisit the idea of some tweak content. Welcome in, Dad. Good to see you. To answer Aiden's question, the drive was pretty decent. It wasn't overly hot, considering the truck has air conditioning most of the time. I think there might be a pinhole leak. It might even just be the Schrader valve in the charge port. Like, it works, but then it stops working and then it starts working again. So my buddy from BC, he was driving the truck with the windows down most of the way. The truck made it all right. It was a little underpowered, so there's still something going on with the injectors. At some point in time, probably towards the end of the summer, I'll just probably bite the bullet and replace all those injectors. But truck's running satisfactory for now. But anyways, yeah, spent the first night in relative peace and quiet out at the home build site. It's just a 5-acre lot adjacent to some agricultural land. It's, I think the farmer's growing soybeans there right now. So it's just some nice Roundup ready crops, just at arm's length. There's a few neighbors out there. Some of them are a little on the nosy side. But it's none of my business. And then today I decided, okay, well, I got some chores to take care of in Grunthal, as well as some fishing to do. And there's nothing going on with the home build, so Max and I headed back out to Grunthal here. Had a nice breakfast for lunch at the Red Wing Diner. Smoked a few cigarettes, drank some coffee. And then proceeded to just do some running around town. And now I gotta set up a tent, do some fishing, and kind of take it easy for the rest of the day. So I don't know if that's all caught. Like what? There are kind of some stories. Yes and no. It was just kind of an aggravating last 2 weeks, and then for those, I got a couple of subscribers in the interim, considering I haven't been doing virtually nothing for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Yeah, I don't know if it was the worst time, but it wasn't the greatest time. I feel you, Brandon. What I'm discovering is people suck. People say they're going to do stuff, and they just never follow through. So not thinking of anybody in particular, but just my expectation level for people is like way down here. So in any case, we're kind of settled, kind of regrouping. We're resetting after the BC winter experience. That was kind of the original reset. Well, I guess the original reset was coming here after selling the house, and then BC was another reset, and then I'm resetting from the BC reset for the summer, and then I'll be heading back to BC for an additional reset. And then in the last week, I guess there's been this reset. So. But yeah, staying at the storage yard was not ideal. I get along with the owner and my buddies there. He lives there. He's basically homeless. Again, it would have been half decent tweak content, but I couldn't guarantee the results. And I know you guys have a high expectation for the content here. So, as I said, we may revisit a live stream with some guest Tweakahs. But yeah, it was just kind of, as part of this reset, figuring out like we had that pump.fun project. I don't actually see anything happening with that. So maybe we can, as a last ditch, do a pump and dump. No, you didn't hear that here, but yeah, buy some tiny coin. Yeah, it would have been close to chimping out. They're like real close. Not from me, but from others. But it was an experience. A very forgettable experience. The last 2 weeks spent in Winnipeg. I haven't even called my parents. They live in town. I told them I was on my way back, but I haven't actually contacted them since I've been back in Manitoba. They haven't tried calling me, so It kind of shows you how much of a priority we are in each other's lives. Max is the only priority at this point. As you can see, I got the Lemmy do back, the Lemmy facial hairstyling. The beard was just getting a little too bushy for some hot summer weather, and it's supposed to start getting hot this weekend. Temperatures in the 30s, which would be in the, I think at 35 degrees Celsius is about 90 degrees freedom, or 90 degrees French fry, or whatever that unit you guys use in the Americas. And so yeah, it's time to just chill. So I figured I better get back on the YouTubes, because the YouTubes have been pretty much sucking ass as of late. I've seen you guys. I've seen you guys in the chats. I know where you guys have been hiding. I've seen you. I've seen you. Mostly in Todd's chat, right? So I did want to just make a few comments on that. Like, it's the shit show is what it is. It's not the shit show we wanted, but it's the shit show we deserve. And so for the last week, it's been the direct Dookie breakup with Triple D Sasha. Should have kept a Frank Zappa soul. Well, I mean, by the end of the summer, my soul patch, it's not very good though. I just get a little bit of hair under the lip. Yeah, like what did you say? YouTube's have been pretty rough. Very undignified tweaks. Yeah, that's like Todd, as you may well know, longtime viewers of this channel and longtime viewers of Todd. He typically has his chat in subscriber only mode, and at this point I'm not committed to subscribing to Todd's channel. It's not that I got anything against the guy. It's just I'm not subscribing. But it's been kind of same old. Yes, Aaron, I am. Ask your mom. She'll tell you. I seen you guys. Wayne Myers was live earlier today. I said hi to a couple of yous out there. Lane's been a little tough to follow. I mean, he did like a marathon live stream the other day. I don't think I watched any of it. Like I was just in the middle of something. But I try to tune in from time to time. It's not the same Lane Myers content as before. Maybe it's maybe you need to see him, with the kombucha and taking puffs live in front of the camera. So that we've kind of been just left with his desktop presentation there, and it's not that it's bad. It's just not the same as it once was in its glory days. Some of you remember Wayne Myers' glory streams, so those were fantastic. The yoga pants included. He's had some moments of brilliance. Yeah, I do still tune in because I do want to learn what he's doing as far as his process, and I kind of get the gist of it, but I don't think he's covering any new territory that's necessarily shining any additional light on what I'm interested in. Lane happy dances, yeah. Yeah, the dance moves, the dance parties, the pot parties, or whatever. It was all wholesome tweaks, yeah. But yeah, getting back to Todd and the unwholesome tweaks, like it was wholesome tweaks a month ago, and then we started seeing TPOs from individuals, namely Rabbit, namely not Rabbit. I said I wanted to stop calling him Rabbit. Secrets keeps calling him Rabbit, but it's his name is William Barthel. But those Tweaky TPOs, uh, what ended up happening is that people stopped talking about Andrea, YN1. And I think that's part of the strategy is to keep people's attention off of what happened in North Carolina and fixate on what's happening in Arizona, Florida, Kentucky, Indiana, Virginia. Somehow Finkel got dragged into all this. And, like it's all just deflecting from what I'm interested in is getting to the bottom of what happened to Andrea Matthews, right? So that's been kind of the major disappointment. Why I'm really not interested in engaging with what the hell's going on with DirectD. Some comments on that, like don't I don't particularly sympathize or empathize with Heather, aka Sasha. Like I have a question for her. It's like did you know the guy was a YouTuber before you moved from Florida? You know, almost across the whole country to go live with a tweaker in the desert, of all places. Like, did you not preview any of his comment or content just to gauge, what kind of individual you were dealing with? Because it sounds like a total dumpster fire, right? I feel like GS never really cared about the line. Well, that's what I'm gathering is that, like, it is becoming about Todd and his situation, and I guess how to one up Secret Scal. Uh, and I do agree with Todd. Like, the word for her is insufferable. I didn't even know Line One from the chats. Like y'all say, she was in. I guess I didn't visit the chat she was in, and I'm in a lot of chats. I seem to recall seeing her when she was still alive in Chile, DeCastro's Delete Laws chats, but that was like 2 years ago. I haven't really watched Chile in quite some time. I watched a lot of Chile's content just and this was after he was released from his jail detention in Las Vegas when he got out on those goofball charges. Brandon, was it? I think that officer's name is Brandon something or other. That was a shit show. But then he came back and he was doing a lot of reviews of stuff. Everybody hated Chili, and you were white knighting him. Yeah, yeah. I can see you doing that. But that's where I recall seeing Lion One. Maybe she might have been in like John Felix's chats, but his chats go by. She might have been in Freeman's chats. Again, I didn't know her. I just recognized the handle. But then in May 2025, all that changed, and everybody seemed to be interested in Andrea. I had Freeman Mock. I'm sorry to hear that. I had, I think I had viewed a couple of videos on the Benghazi Rabbit channel. And if you're new here, I don't think there's anybody new here. Just in case there's new subscribers wondering what the hell this channel is about. People are still subscribing because of my Andy Edwards music uh, music channel review, which is fine. You're welcome here. We're not doing music anything today, although maybe we can get a dance party going. I don't know. But yeah, we we heard about Andrea's death. I was aware of who William Barthel was under the guise of the Benghazi Rabbit. I didn't find his content terribly worthwhile. And then all the shit hit the fan with the the untimely passing of Andrea Matthews, and a lot of you know this the story that's been unfolding over the last year, which really culminated in Todd and Finkel broadcasting the 911 calls, and that was just around a month ago, maybe a little over a month ago, right around a month ago, and that's when copyright strikes started getting issued against Finkel and Todd, and restraining orders, temporary protection orders. Got to give up your pew pews. Got to do this. Got to do that. Uh, there was a bingo game that started up, which apparently is enmeshed in all kinds of controversy and intrigue and IRS audits and felonies and all this stuff. But all that stuff that's happened since about a month ago, it's really not helping move Andrea's the discovery of the truth behind what happened to Andrea forward in any meaningful way. So it has now kind of come back around to Todd and Chris Ryder, who's still not in prison. I have no idea how that's even possible. But Chris Ryder is still a free man. Tifaho is still with her man. So Jethro, if Jethro Miller is it pops in, as far as as far as the recording of this live stream, Tifaho is still not available. Val's on a bit of a hiatus as of the moment. So he's probably polishing up his golf game. He needs it. Only one that's done jail time is Rabbit. And it seems like he's the only one that's going to be doing jail time. Yeah, Todd's going to walk away from this unscathed. Finkel's got nothing to worry about. Ryder seemingly has nothing to worry about. But JJ and the rest of that camp, the Benghazi Rabbit, one day, Jethro, we're pulling for you, man. Uh, and Direct D has now gotten sucked in, I guess, through the association with Secret Savage neck gels. Like, what handle does she go by nowadays? Who's now apparently Direct D's boss, issuing credit cards for use under the like who controls the credit card? Like you can't get a straight answer out of her, so it's really unwatchable. She has all kinds of questions. Uh, she wants to get born again as a Christian in the most sincere way possible. She, she's looking out for Todd's safety, making sure that his guns are registered or there's receipts or something. Like it's all just very dis- it's a deflection distraction. It's a bunch of garbage. Most of the towels in the house. Don't see. Yeah, Jethro's probably working like the rest of us should be. Jethro's a productive human. Kate said that even if Rabbit didn't do the deed, she was still with him, apparently married to him, if she did it to herself. What does that say about him? Yeah, either way, he either caused her to be in such distress that she would want to take her own life, or he helped her get the job done in other ways. Oh, my laptop's like. Love how Aaron's trying to make bets with people that GS's protection order. Yeah, that's tweaky and fun. Oh, Aaron, I guess. Brandon's already off work. He punched out. Okay, good. What's up already? Like, what are you doing up at this hour? It's so early. Uh, well, yeah. If you're not interested in the Andrea situation, that's what we're talking about for the last 10 minutes. But it's just devolved. Like it's virtually unwatchable. Uh, to Direct D and Sasha, it's like you guys probably deserve each other. You, you're gonna get what you get. Uh, it's not that I have any animosity towards Sasha, Heather, the T-shirt maker, bearded Yeti, but it's like, girl, come on, like you've been living out of your RV for 6 years and kind of have no street smarts about you in this regard. And then all these other people coming out of the woodwork. Amber from Hawaii. Somebody pointed out like it's one of the tweakiest meth states in the Union. Soviet Union? No, there's no Soviet Union anymore. Uh, so again, another felon with a criminal record that says Direct D has a big horse cock or something. Probably true. Like everything that everyone that Direct D is affiliated with, you can kind of take their words to the bank. Clearly, Innocent Auditor has been on. Well, he's graduated to mod on Todd's channel, providing his wry, deadpan, humorful, wholesome commentary and questions. I guess I keep it innocent. I mean, get her done. GJM is now a regular feature on Todd's panels. I don't know if there's any point in trying to make any headway with any of the Savage Saints that com- completely flood his chats. Like, I don't know if these people are reachable at this point. Like, it's not that I want to see them to comment on a lot of this shit on a regular basis because it's a whole nother thing that's kind of Todd centered, right? Which is fine. You grow your channel. You probably grow your channel by doing Facebook Live at this point. Forget about YouTube. Uh, if you were streaming on Facebook, I mean, people would be eating this shit up. Never mind 60, 70 people in the chats. That's something that gets me though. People say, "Oh, there's 80 people in the chats, 120 people in the chats." No, there's a list of participants in the chats that are chatting, and then there's some people just watching. So right now I've got 11 viewers, it says. Thank you all for tuning in. I don't know why you would. But you're not all in the chats. So I've got maybe 3 or 4 people in the chats, if I look it up. But that's not 11 people in my chats. Aaron's got to get some work done. You got to, Mama says time to wash your dishes or clean your room or what? Uh, people, I got like 10 people that want to send me money. Make that 11. Yeah, send money to buy me a coffee, which I don't have the link up. And I'm not gonna put the link up. You gotta go find it yourself. Um, that's 11 people, Aaron. So get to work, my friend. Send those super chats or however you ping these people. Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever. You remember when I only had a handful of subs? Yeah. Well, this channel actually grew. It had a big growth spike, but I was doing shorts. I was doing those standalone recorded videos. There was a lot more music content. As of the last 8 months plus, it's just been live streams. So I don't really have a cause that I'm gonna attract a lot of viewership. So a lot of those subs are just subs, and subs don't really count for anything. Riding Andy's coattails, yeah, somewhat. Well, those subs are Andy's coattails. That's all I really got out of that. So a lot of people subbed as a result of one video I did about Andy Edwards, and that was part of the Standing on the Shoulders of Giants series I did. It was like a playlist, which you could probably find somewhere on below on the homepage of my YouTube channel, where I was giving credit to the people that inspired me to actually make content on YouTube. But and then the audience I have these days is you folks that are familiar with the shit I talk about and the things I do, and hopefully you're somewhat interested in what's going on, which is at the moment not much. Just hanging out with old Maxie here. So and that's kind of brings up a point. I didn't want to ride anybody's coattails. Like, I probably could engage with Todd's chats and even Todd and make my way onto panels and get that viewership from that, but it's sort of like anything that has to do with Savage Saints at this point, I want to keep a little bit of a buffer zone. You know what a buffer zone is? A buffer zone is where you don't go if you're Asian or Asian affiliated, because they'll smash your head in. And so I just don't want this channel to be associated with those channels. The Tweakerverse there. And maybe someday I'll have something to talk about, or maybe one day somebody will merit fuller engagement. But like even DirectD, like I don't care that I'm Google banned from DirectD's channel. Like, he's got nothing. Like, he's just spiraling ever downward at this point. Like, there's nothing there anymore. Is just a slow descent into obscurity at this point. Like, it really is a slow motion crash out. It seems dramatic at this point, but I mean, this isn't going to take him down in any way. He's not tweaking in a way that brings us great deal of pleasure and fulfillment at this point. It's just sad, really. And I feel for him. Like, I, I feel for him in that if you wanted to, you could tweak with dignity. Like, that door has not been shut to you directly. Christopher Ruff, like, I'm talking directly to you. Like, it's not a matter of redemption or making lemonade out of some lemons somewhere. It's like there is a way to tweak with dignity in the midst of all this. Like, what do you even call this? Like, it's not despairing. It's just lame. That's it. Your lameness is what is defining your channel, your brand at this point. Like, it's just a bunch of hot garbage. And I, for one, do not want my good name, my stellar reputation, to be tarnished by by that flaming diaper that you're calling the Direct D channel at this point. Likewise with Savage, Secret, uh, Cackler, the Cackler. Yeah, it's fun. Like let's all make fun of her cackle. It's like let's try to figure out who she is. Is she Marie or Courtney or? Like, at this point, who cares? Like she's more or less irrelevant. Uh, Other than she's good at leading Todd around by his nose to some degree, and then I think he thinks he's good at leading her around by her nose. And so it's just this ineffectual tug of war that they got going on. I think she secretly has a crush on Todd. She said the whole reason for her channel was to get Todd's channel removed from YouTube, and then she could stop doing YouTube. But I think there's more going on there. You know I'm right. But Todd is of course betrothed to Chris Ryder, so he's probably barking up the wrong tree. Sorry, Tifaho. Sorry, Tiffany, but Todd is Chris's first love. I'm not clear on what's going on as of late with any of Chris Ryder's cases. It seems like he's just dominating. So there's really not much to cover there, other than at this point I would almost stake my stellar reputation that he's not going to be going to prison, unfortunately, for Jethro Miller. Yeah, where's Tav? Haven't seen Tav in forever. But yeah, the people that we have been seeing a lot of, Stone Vet, Secret, Coded Friend. If I never saw any content from Droopy Dog again, I think I'd be very, very happy. There's something seriously wrong with that guy. Killamilla, unfortunately, is no longer part of the YouTube family. It's Tommy Pickles is now our resident tweaker. I guess he's on Rumble now as Killamilla. Like, who cares? Go watch him on Rumble. Muckster. Who is this guy? What is a Muckster? And who allowed him? Which one of his family members is leaving him unsupervised that he's allowed to use YouTube just unchecked? The Stoffel is in the house. Stoffel, you changed your thumbnail, your avatar. What are we looking at there? I was trying to make that out the other day. Or is this just a? Is this Chris Ryder of the sock account saying he's Stoffel? I'm done trying to figure that out. But welcome in, Chris or Stoffel, whichever it is. Larata to you. Coded and Stone Vet are unwatchable. Why come? I don't know any of these people you talk about. Because it's a bunch of Tweakahs that are kind of outside of your Tweakah circle of Tweakahs. And it all goes back to the Andrea Lion 1 incident. So Georgia Transparency is part of this whole mess now. Some of his content seems to be rustling some or raising some hackles. Let's put it that way. So he's somewhat come under attack, mostly ad hominems. He owes money, or neglects his kids, or his dog has got the wrong collar. So I don't know. It just none of it makes sense. It's just terrible, terrible, terrible. Jay Abady in the house. Welcome in. Blackbeard's hideout. Sorry, I'm just on my phone. I don't have my laptop, so I gotta. These chats don't stay up on the iPhone very long. Blackbeard's hideout is in North Carolina on Ocracoke Island and Bath. Good to know. Good to know. But yeah, what's the Mattel? A lot of your fellow chatters are compatriot from the Larata chat gang. It started in the chats when the chatters uh, were saying Larata in the chats, and so this is the Larata chat gang assembled. So if you're not part of that that structured organization that may or may not uh, be implicated in RICO investigations, then you may not be familiar with anything that I'm saying. But yeah, you're not missing much of anything. What's the Mattel? Did you remember Lion One? Because you're in everybody's chats too. I know you know Aaron Queen, the hardest working man in YouTube. Uh, but what's the Mattel? You should remember Lion One from I would say from Chili's chats anyway. Oh, your avatar is Blackbeard flag mixed with hockey. Ah, okay, all right. Yeah, my old man eyes, like trying to make out, but it's so tiny. So, so yeah, the crux of my attention was on finding out more of what happened in the Andrea Matthews unaliving, passing. Like I don't know what's the best way to say. Like we don't know what happened, other than a medical examiner's report said she died of a self-inflicted bullet wound. Fortunately, it was one bullet wound and not three, to the head, no less. But as of, we say, 5 weeks ago, a month ago, things were the momentum was going in the direction of finding out what happened. Rest in peace, Andrea Lion One. Yeah, and that kind of came to a standstill when there were TPOs issued against Finkel and Todd, and then it's just been kind of Finkel and Todd fighting their battle now against the Savage Saints, which appears to be a completely illegitimate charity and church. Church of the Savage Heart, which of course we now know that Savage Secret was an administrative assistant on behalf of Savage Saints. The moment that Rabbit, aka, Rabbit wasn't indicted, Rabbit wasn't put in jail. It was William Barthel. So when William Barthel went to jail in Florida because he called the cops on himself while stalking and harassing Chris Ryder, uh, he ended up in jail in Florida, extradited to Indiana, where Chris Ryder lives. At that point, Secret Scal became the administrative assistant of the Savage Saints. And the moment he got out of jail, she ceased to be the administrative assistant, and she was always always a volunteer, which is a very important distinction, because volunteers don't mean nothing in the eyes of that should be your defense if you get charged with anything. Just say I'm just a volunteer. I'm just a volunteer. Do volunteers get paid? Do volunteers get paid? Do volunteers get paid? Do volunteers get paid? So if that's the kind of content you want, then tune into Savage Secret Neck Folds, and uh, I just say thank God she doesn't use her actual on-camera uh, view, that she does have an avatar. Like, I mean, that catfish avatar is still much better than what we'd actually have to look at. I think the neck folds would push me over the edge. I mean, her voice is bad enough. The neck folds, that would be yuck, yuck. But yeah, it's just been a quibbling over words and definitions and obfuscating and trying to throw smoke where there's no fire. Like it's very undignified, Tweaks. Very undignified. So if you think it's dignified, come up on panel and make your case. But it's virtually. I've been listening here and there just to see if there's any more information that's going to come out. But as I said before, you got in, Stoffel, like Todd, as you know, uses subscriber only mode for his chats, and I at this point I'm not ready to take that leap and actually subscribe to his channel. Maybe if he was on Facebook Live, I might, but that's really where his content should be, is on Facebook Live. His channel would explode. Uh, Seems like I got her identified. You got a gifted sub. Yeah, I was chatting a while back. The last time you had just open chat and like no subscriber only mode, but yeah, I just can't do it. And yeah, Mester Bingo or Doofus Crest, like what is this Doofus Crest? Is that supposed to be funny? Like, is this what qualifies as humor nowadays on the internet? Is this where we're at? Doofus Crest, like that's supposed to be ha ha ha. I'm not even gonna try to cackle the way she cackles. Like it's just it's it's insufferable. Everything about it is insufferable. Yeah, if I got a gifted sub from Todd's channel, I'd probably try to return it. Like, just is can you oh, Joe the Ho is here. Did the Kamloops what? Did the Kamloops people powwow people drive you away? No, there was no powwows. Nope. Uh, you would think it's what's the matter you, but it's what's a Mattel. What's a Mattel 1, actually. What's the Mattel 01, I believe. Where is that? Where'd that tweaker go? Yeah, no, what's a Mattel 0? You would think it's what's a Matta you O, but it's what's a Mattel 0, or is that an O? I think it's a 0. What's a Mattel 0? So there you go. That's the lore on what's a Mattel there, Jay Beatty. Uh, but no, the Kamloops people didn't drive me. Well, in a way, yes, but I kind of drove myself away. Like they were. It was a fact-finding expedition this past winter. I went to a location where I knew there was people I could connect with, and I was kind of vetting them to see if it was a worthwhile place to put down roots. It wasn't. At least not the setting I was in. I did meet some great people there. I did end up leaving my trailer at one of my friends' place that I did meet there. So they were kind enough to allow me to leave my trailer in their yard. They've got an acre or two or something. So they had space. So when I return there this winter, I'll retrieve my trailer, which still is loaded full of a bunch of crap I probably should just get rid of. But yeah, I'll be returning to that same community in Clearwater, but I'm pretty sure I won't be staying there. It will just be to gather my belongings, and there's a couple other areas I wanted to check out, and I'll do a little more exploring this coming winter. Uh, it wasn't a waste of time. Like it was a glorious place to spend the winter. The very mild temperatures, but I was hoping for an opportunity to kind of get connected and engage with a group of people that were working towards something, and they're working towards something. It just doesn't seem to be anything I want to add my labor to. So I got my own shit I can do. It just wasn't the right environment or setting to kind of pitch in, help out, as well as get what I wanted to get done. My side hustles and whatnot. It wasn't. I mean, we had some good live streams from there, but it was quiet. It was almost too quiet. Clearwater is a bit of a resort town, but it's a dying town. Like they had mining, they had uh, there's still forestry going on up there, but the mill burnt down. There was some pipeline projects going on, but that kind of dried up. So it's like it should be a rock and play. Like it's a tourist attraction. There's these fantastic waterfalls in Wellsgrave Park. Uh, People come from all over the world. Like very big with Europeans to visit that area. But just the touristy nature, like think of a tourist town from like 1975. Like it's just that kind of vibe. Like it's just kind of run down, and it's not nice. Like it just has so much potential, but it's just bleh. And I don't know if it's gonna turn around there. Like there's kind of a weird vibe going on in general in Clearwater. It is, an hour and a half from Kamloops, which is the nearest major center. Kamloops is a little bit of a strung out, druggy town. Not that that's a bad thing or anything, but there's not a ton I could see myself doing in Kamloops. But there's other areas towards the southern portion of the province in the Okanagan Valley. And I do know people out towards the coast, friends of friends and family and that kind of stuff. So this this coming winter, I'll likely spend a bit of time towards the coast and more towards the Okanagan area, and maybe even the Kootenay mountain range. That's beautiful there. When I drove, okay, I was back in Manitoba in March to renew my license, and I took this road back to get to Clearwater, and I took the real scenic route. Some of you may have seen some of the live streams I did while driving. Some of them had no audio because I'm a tweaker, but it was just gorgeous there, and lots of property for sale. Like not through realtors, like private sale properties. And so it was a very intriguing area. So potential, you know, purchasability or purchase options. But that's an exploratory expedition in itself, just to go through there. But man, the highways were amazing. I had this little Toyota Prius that they had rented me to get back to Manitoba and back to BC. That thing was amazing on these mountain roads. It was so much fun. So much fun. just boogieing up and down the highway. But yeah, Clearwater was fun in a way, but somewhat of a well, my conclusion at the end of it was that it's not worth investing a lot time and effort in that location. So let's try to catch up on chats here. Aaron caught up with work. All right, well, I'll be waiting for that peer-to-peer. Her phlegmy voice is gross. Absolutely. Georgia Transparency has joined the battle. He's killing it. He's IDing all. Yeah, like he's doing some legwork. I appreciate what GT is doing. Stoffel stealing ideas. RE the Avatar. Seems like they finally got her identified. Yeah. Kind of at this point, I don't really care. Like I've kind of maintained from the beginning she's somewhat irrelevant. Like if you get her, like she's not going to bring the whole thing down. Uh, it does need to be focused on, I think, William Barthel's connection to J.J. Scarborough and anybody that's higher up in the organization beyond JJ even. So Georgia Transparency is digging, most certainly, getting her done. Caught up with work, payments, $350. So easy to make money on it. All right, they're all dumb and corny. Yeah, send super chat, Aaron. They're all dumb and corny, but it's so sheepy and culty that they all go along with anything and everything. Yeah, that cult vibe is really quite alarming, disturbing, and clear as the gigantic nose on my face. I believe Rabbit had something to do with Line one day. Well, that's what a lot of us believe. It seems that law enforcement doesn't care. Agreed. Dittos from Jay Beatty. They make fun of others' personal lives all day, every day. Yeah, then on the other side, I get some info on them. Doc Leno, they cry. Yeah, there's a bunch of crying. Lots of crying. Secret is turning off gifted subs. Oh, interesting. What's the matter you? What's the Mattel is fine. So now it's fine. Make up your mind, boy. Say wussy. Yeah, that's. I'm almost gonna have to side with Aaron at this point. I gave up on Todd when he hated on Bell. Yeah, that was ridiculous, was it not? I mean, I wouldn't say I gave up on Todd, but it just showed me like he's not paying attention, or his commitment to details is down here, and his commitment to, like, is it a character that he's playing? Like, is he hyper trolling all of us, including Bao? Like, Bao didn't even do anything. But Todd thought he was uh, miming or vicariously eating his commanding officer. Meanwhile, he was Bao was dunking on the Tweakers in the Savage Saints camp, because they're like it's like Todd just completely missed the whole point of that whole thing. And then Bao, being Bao, doubled down and said, "Yeah, I did it. What are you going to do about it? Can we move on?" And Todd just wouldn't let it go. So he said, "Fuck you, you Vietnamese veteran. And it was like, Todd, like, I'm not about to give you advice, but it's like, come back to reality for just as long as you can stand being with us here in the land of reality. Can you just see if it's worth spending some time here? And he's like, nope. I'd rather do a panel and have Secret come up. So, let's see. So, yeah, he's the only one really going after the dorks. He is, but is he? Extra tweaks. Yeah, but it's just, they're all undignified tweaks at this point. Like, filtering it through the Lorata chat, and Lorata is in the tweak streams, most certainly, but we almost need the leech filter, if you know what I'm knowing here. The leech filter is what's required to bring any sense of dignity to these tweaks at this point. So, let's see. Oh, thank you, Aaron, for the peer-to-peer. Appreciate that. I should set up a goal: 50 super chats in the next hour. If I get $2 in the next half hour, I can stream for another hour. Tweaker DV's accomplice coming up. Oh man, coming up on Todd's panel. You know, she was set up. Someone told her to go and talk up Tweaker DV. It's a good thing. Well, the direct D nicknames are starting to come fast and furious. Yes, they're so dumb. She's just another tweaker. Just another peripheral chaos agent. Again, distracting from the important matter of what the hell happened to Andrea. Oh, King Chow Chow in the house. Nice. Dookie Ranch is riddled with a lot of stuff you don't want to know about. Todd can be very naive sometimes, like who he trusts and certain things. Oh yeah, I think I've brought that up. He's terribly gullible, or easy to lead by the nose. Like, yeah, I would say Secret has dog walked him. Others have dog walked him too. And then he gets super butthurt, and then we have to watch the epic tweakouts. So it is what it is. Bao was having communion. Really, he should stop that. I tend to believe GS deliberately trolls people. That would explain the mannequin. Matthew Miller, Killamilla. Oh, you found the picture of Matthew. Tweak with dignity, for God's sake. It is 2026 after all. To a pre. Oh, T-Man. You went over to Lane Myers because of me? Oh, oh. All right. Well, you're welcome. Please don't hold it against me. He wasn't funny at all in the video. Tag's still lurking. Gotta keep that fake internet beef going. Of which I have very little beef. I got weenies to roast here. That's it. No ribeyes. Really should focus on the task at hand, which is to get some fishing poles in the water. Max, you want to go on the paddle boat again? Yeah, do some fishing. But yeah, as of late, really for the last 3 weeks, maybe longer, uh, the Todd saga has been just steadily getting more. I don't want to choose my words, weigh my words in a manner that reflects accurately what I'm observing. It's just not worth a lot of time to invest watching that. It's we see the trajectory. It's what's going to happen is going to happen. Yeah, we want to see Rabbit in prison, but I'd rather hear about a grand jury convening to find out. I'm starting to get mucus in my throat here. It's starting to sound like secret. Lane's too weird and boring anyway. He can be. He can be. I mean, I wouldn't say I was watching him from the beginning, but I started watching him in early 2024, and that was the summer when all the O'Reillys shit was happening and the booing charges. And at that point, he was just really mounting his legal battle against the New Mexico sheriffs, or was it state troopers? Angel Moreno, Moresco, Modesto, whatever it was, and the campground manager who's not a real manager, and all that stuff. Custodian, the janitor. So I was kind of used to Lane's content being what it was. I caught the first Lane live stream because he wasn't doing live streams. He was just posting similar to I was, these standalone videos of the progress of what was happening in his legal battles in New Mexico. And then we started doing live streams. We got more and more of his details of all his cases and his charges, and he started IRL live streaming, going to town hall meetings or Pima County meetings, and then that's when Laura Conover and the whole Walker situation came about. So yeah, if you're not used to Lane's style, it can get quite dull and boring, especially when he goes deep on some of his legal explanations, interpretations, or describing what he's doing at any given time on paper and use within the courts. That whole structure, that whole statist make believe realm there. I find it interesting because again, he's a high IQ, high capacity individual, high processing rate that he can keep me engaged if he's dry as hell, boring as eating paint chips. But yeah, if you're just diving into Lane content, it can be a bit to wade through, unless you find that very interesting as well. But yeah, I kind of saw him from a number of different perspectives, where I kind of understand where he came from and where he's going to, and the kind of detour into Pima County Adult Correction Center. You know, somebody sent a super chat maybe. But yeah, I I think there's some value in watching Lane. He's a fascinating individual, correct, Dad? His chat is a limited forum somewhat for professional conduct, and he can be strict about. Yeah, he wasn't like that before. It was a bit of a free for all in times past, but it seems like he wants to stick on topic. I think as a result of the charges he's faced, he doesn't want to get people too off track. I could be wrong. He could be just trolling us too, kind of coming across as a tyrant, not wanting to discuss anything outside of what you're there for, which is to get educated in the Lane Myers way of I don't know, the amendments or something. You were blocked, yeah. I heard that a week or two ago. There was some undignified blocking going on. Oh, I seen the C word. Somebody said coffee. Yeah, they damaged his brand. Maybe. Uh, I think I think they did give him the golden ticket. Charlie Buckets will rise again. Gotta go. Okay, well, thanks for coming, Brandon. Made comment with us while a song was playing and something like I haven't been keeping up and I blame Putin. Reference other current poverty. And that was it. Boom, blocked. You got your coffee, your bong, your helmet, popcorn, permission slips, and I haven't gross. Yeah, like it's the Lane Myers channel looks different than it was. He doesn't allow hate speech or off topic, so he wouldn't be interested in talking about golf, I guess. Whereas seeing Bowstream, you just bring up golf and boom, we're talking about golf now. With Lane, that wouldn't work. But other than that, yeah, YouTube has been kind of whatever. It's not necessarily so much that I miss the Bow streams or Smurfwatch streams. It's just you'd think there'd be something else. You'd think there'd be something else to. Uh, who is that? James Useless Channel. Well, thank you. You criticized the music that he was playing and called it lame, wanting him to play yours. Yeah, the golf to Bow is like squirrel for a dog. Max, is that a squirrel? Is that a squirrel? Uh, but yeah, in the vacuum that Bow has left, I mean, I was gonna go to Kensington and give you some Kensington footage, uh, but I'll do that maybe in the next week or so. But really, there's not been a lot. We were watching a little bit of Ice Poseidon's Big Brother Tweaker Fest there. I really couldn't get too engrossed in that, so I don't have much to say about that. I know Bell said he was watching that almost continuously. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but it seems like he was spending a lot of time watching Ice. I've seen people in Kick and Bell's Kick channel talking about Danger, Danger Ranger. Was it Dangerous now? Is his channel? Go check him out. Is he on YouTube or Kick? So there's stuff that's going on, but the the whole Todd Bryant generally specific saga, is that a right word? I mean, it's just sucked all the air out of the internet. Like I didn't really feel incented to do a lot of live streaming just because he's just sucked all the literal oxygen out of the room, and I didn't have a lot to add to it. Like let Direct D fall flat on his tweaky ass face there. I mean, yeah, let the crows peck at his pecker-wooded body. Yeah, we could make make butt phone jokes until the crows come home. Bao doesn't want to be a man. Well, who does want to be a man? Uh, Without Bao, there's basically nothing. I started watching movies again. While you brought that up, oh, okay, a couple of things. Uh, for years, I had seen memes about parks and recreation, like on the internet. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the internet, but there's these new things the kids have come up with called memes, and so there was all these parks and rec memes. And the last couple of weeks, no, it was maybe about a week or so, I started getting a lot of Aubrey Plaza, the actress from the Parks and Rec. Was it a television show? I don't even know. But different clips, and it was funny as hell. So I started watching these different compilations of Parks and Rec. Uh, so I basically know the whole series and know exactly what's going on just by watching clips, which I originally found through memes, and then okay, making the connection. That's where that came from. So I had never watched the series, but there's some actually pretty funny content from that show. So I don't watch a lot of produced content. Uh, Movies, yeah, I haven't really done movies in forever. But that Parks and Rec stuff was actually brought a bit of a, I don't know if I call it a smile to my face, but just one of those nose exhale. Oh, that's funny. That's pretty funny. But yeah, the Aubrey Plaza April character, that I appreciate that kind of deadpan, psychotic, chaotic humor. Uh, Looked it up. The local policy on camping is they're supposed to offer you resources. Well, I would be happy if somebody came up and just handed me a coffee. Booth jokes never get old. Uh, yeah, rather than pay to watch the whole series, just go on YouTube, find Parks and Rec clips. Like it's some interesting characters. I guess it's the characters. The stories are ridiculously stupid. The situations are improbable, but it's the characters. It's sort of like The Office, you know. It's the most ridiculous kind of like it's The Office was a mockumentary of sorts. It was similar to something like Trailer Park Boys, where you've got a camera crew, and the crew becomes part of the cast and part of the story at sometimes. Never really watched The Office that much either. I had friends that went crazy over that show. Uh, but Parks and Rec is interesting. There's some real interesting stuff there. Uh, but yeah, the April character played by Aubrey Plaza, and then some of her interviews like on Letterman and Conan O'Brien. Haven't seen any of those shows in forever. Like her live appearances are pretty disturbing. So if you kind of like that off-putting, uncomfortable humor, Aubrey Plaza. Been infatuated with Aubrey Plaza. So. Uh, but the other thing through Kick, you guys know Friends in Code, not Coded Friends, something completely different. Friends in Code. Put a 69 in the chat if you know who Friends in Code is. Well, he's been coming up with some kind of streaming software, a platform tracks something or other. So he's been hyping that up. So I've been trying to catch the odd uh, Friends and Code stream. He streams on Kick and like all the platforms as well as YouTube. And so it's kind of a multi-platform, uh, browser-based streaming service that might find its way into this channel's delivery system to you. So uh, I I've still been very extremely lazy at setting up my webcam and what. I got the port where I could plug a USB A device into my laptop now. I could plug, I think, 3 or 4 USB A's into one USB-C port on the laptop for inputs. So I'll be mic'd up. I'll have it all. It'll be fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Epic. It'll be epic someday. Uh, but I was using OBS as my streaming platform before, the OBS software, which Lane Myers uses, others. I got to link my StreamYard. I don't even know if I have StreamYards. I'm not paying for it, so I guess I got to pay if I want to use that. Or I could have all the stuff, but it sounds like Friends and Code is launching something. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on what he's doing with his programming. I'm miming as if I was a computer programmer because that's what he's doing. He's like coding, like Friends and Code, get like coding, like learn to code kind of stuff. That's what he does. So he had that cop watching platform as well. He was launching in the last year. I haven't been paying too much attention to that. Cop watching doesn't really do a ton for me, but I like his concept of streaming service. Just checked. I had been unsubscribed to who? To me? That's a shame. Like, share, and subscribe, everybody. Hit the thumbs up on your way in. Uh, yeah, FSC knows his stuff. He's smart. He's smart. Yeah, he's one of those. He's one of those those coding bros, right? He's kind of a good guy to know if you need stuff done, right? But yeah, so other than that, the internet is utterly dead. So Parks and Rec, Friends and Code, and then Todd has kind of subsumed the rest of the internet, as far as I can determine. Like DirectD doesn't. Well, he does a 6-hour cope stream, I guess, for epic fail stream. Like, yeah, his crash out is so disappointing. I We had such high hopes for DirectD, but who thought it would be this lame, breaking up with some tweaker from Florida with Desert Jim Carrey in the background. It makes very little sense. You you guys see GT versus Amanda? That was did not. I think I've heard people alluding to it. I was driving and listening to Todd earlier in the day. I was listening to it a little bit yesterday, but again, there's a limit to what I can take because it's just the same shit over and over. Especially when inevitably Chris Ryder gets on panel, and then within 5 minutes, Secret Catfish is there cackling and gagging away on the mucus that's filling her neck folds. Like it's just it's the same old same. Like it, I'd rather watch Three's Company reruns, where all the like it's become so predictable. That's it's predictable. Todd will say something, and then Secret will ask him a question, not stop asking the same question for 20 minutes. And Todd will call her an insufferable coos, and just say, "Yeah, I'm a coos," and like it's just terribly, terribly predictable. Um, he just started repositioning her, and she got defensive and left. Easy psychological read. Spit it out, Secret. That's right. Uh, Ryder can be funny. Yeah, he's a good shit talker. Like he's probably one of the best out there. But it's like he needs some fresh blood. Like Secret is this used up feminine hygiene product at this point. Like there's no life left in that. Is there? Like somebody paint the scenario for me. Like how Secret's content get better? Or is like what would be the most satisfying outcome if you were in charge of the internet? If you were the boss of YouTube and you were sending scripts over to Secret Scal, what would be the best outcome that you'd like to see with her specifically? Because we know Todd's channel isn't going nowhere, so she's I guess doomed to be a YouTuber forever because she planned to remove Todd from YouTube, which is never going to happen. For better or for worse, that's just simply not going to happen. So she's basically committed herself to YouTubing for life. So if she wanted to get out of her contract and you were in charge of YouTube, like how would you bring about her demise? Like what would be the most satisfying story arc for that character? And not just prison. Like that's too easy. Like what would be the best uh, twat not twat plot twist? Is there a great plot twist that yeah maybe she would be pregnant with Todd's baby or something? Uh, she takes a pregnancy test and finds out that the rabbit dies. She gets canceled. There's nothing to improve her. Discarded Boba Clot. I don't know what a Boba Clot is. Anybody can help me with that? Secret goes bungee jumping over a pond of alligators. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Uh, like I don't have an like at this point. I don't know if you can tell. I really don't care what happens to her. I'd like to see her gone off the YouTube, like not necessarily alligatored. But yeah, I think if a pregnancy test and then a subsequent paternity test that shows actually Chris Ryder or what's the guy D? Oh, elevator shop. Yeah, that all sounds good. Welcome in, cue the audit. Uh, yeah, if a paternity test showed that uh, Buckster was the father or something, I don't know. Or GJM, Jizz Boy, like her nickname's Jizz Boy. You guys like that one? Jizz Boy. Um, yeah, that's a riot. Secret Scout. I'm gonna have to remember that one. Jizz Boy. Mester. Yeah, yeah. if she had a paternity test and it was Chris Ryder's child, and he somehow sued her for custody and then named the child Mester, that would be pretty cool. Mester Christopher Ryder. Or Mester Bauquak Ryder. Or Mester Jizboy Ryder. Yes. Finkel the Third. I mean, Chris would have to explain to Tiffany, I guess, what's going on. Alligators have ears. They're not going anywhere. Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about you, Jethro. As far as we can tell at this point, Tiffany is not available as a result of Chris Ryder not going to prison. We know you're on standby. We know that you're ready to assume the post. You're the man in waiting, but it does not appear that Chris Ryder is going to prison. Unfortunately for you. Fortunately for Chris and Tiffany and Tiffany's kids. Yeah, if I was an alligator and saw, first of all, if you saw the masked neck fold lady and then started to hear her cackle, like you'd just say, "Nah, nope, nope, nope. I'm out. I'm out." Uh, one is rabbits, one is dookies. Well, if one was dookies, like he wouldn't have anything to do with the child anyway. She has to stay around long enough for Todd's TPO to get dropped, Barthel to get convicted in Indiana and Florida, and Ryder to be cleared of charges with a big lawsuit. But then what? We just say, I told you so? Q, the audit, is extremely observant in that, yes, I did have a beard. But as you can see now, I've taken on the persona of Lemmy Shimkomeister. So we're doing the Lemmy facial stylings again. My beard was about this long. It was just it was gonna get too fluffy through the summer, and I plan on doing some excruciating outdoor work. It just didn't seem, you know, I didn't want to get my beard stuck in a wood chipper like some people. But you notice the hair is still, still doing something. But yeah, your wife will be okay with Tiffany remaining unavailable. All right. Let's see. Well, Mrs. Miller, I guess, yeah. Remember the first time we all saw the snow yeti and we were like, this isn't going to end well. And it's going to yeah, we remember, but I guess, yeah, the scenario that we're observing now, we probably could have predicted. This is a lame story arc, though, is what I'm getting at. Is like I, for one, had much higher hopes for Directy. Like, I thought Mitch was going to be more prolific. I wanted to see Adriana try to sink her teeth in. The Bearded Yeti, it just seemed, yeah, inevitably this is going to be a stupid storyline. It's sort of like okay, a sitcom, right? I think this happened with The Office. Like when, what's his name? What was it? Michael? Was that the main the Office guy. Like he left the series, from what I understand, and then the show just went. It's like they were just uh, sending it in after that. Like it just got trash, right? So what was once glorious, it's like the writers just said, "Oh, what the fuck? We got fans that are tuning in. They're gonna watch no matter what we put on." So that's what the Bearded Yeti Desert Jim Carrey season devolved into. It's like this is what the writers came up with. Like this is terrible. I want my I want a refund on my free membership. I mean, if Dookie hadn't blocked me, I'd block myself. Or I'd find a way. I'd Google block myself from DirectD's channel if I could, because it's just it's it's stupid. It's lame. Uh, but yeah, like you hit the nail on the head there, Jethro. Uh, what after everything? It's IRL, so there's always a then what. Yeah. So where does Dookie go from here? Like, what's on his horizon? What's next for Dookie? So he's got civil charges with Adriana. There's a TPO, a 2-year restraining order with Sasha, aka Heather. Like it's just lame, lame. The writers were really, really goofing on us, man. He still has her coolers. Well, that's pretty cool. So nobody saw the Yeti cooler twist, right? Whoops. I've been glued to the story. I'm fascinated how it's the exact same story Mitch told us when he left. Yeah. Direct. Yeah. Direct Dookie is saying the exact same things about Snow Yeti he said about Mitch. Oh my goodness. Hey, get out of here. Hey. Yeah, that's okay. It's just, my dog is a little freaked out by dogs.
You feel me no harm. We're wagging their tails. It's a good sign. Is that a girl or
Boy.
okay? How old? Maggie's like almost 11, so
Okay.
they're old and seen it all. Come on, check. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Nice dog though. Lab?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a
Lab
lab
border
husky.
collie.
Got lucky with him. Great shape, better than me. Come on, Shaggy,
Hey,
let's go.
Max, school it. Cool it.
He's always up here killing woodchucks. He's got 2 up
Oh.
here. Yeah. Just nails them.
Got an RV down the way?
Yeah, I stay in that camp shack. The first one when you come in, the green one. Got a Scottish flag in Canada. That's a long-term rental in there till October.
Gotcha.
Oh, Shaggy, you know, you're on the... Yeah, I know, it's nice. I like it here.
Yeah, I was staying here last fall for a bit.
Cool. You bring something here?
Just here for the night tenting.
Nice. Good spot.
I had my RV here. I was in the A-frame for a bit last year.
What's that like? Just bed?
It's a wooden tent.
Yeah? No cooker, right?
Shaggy,
enough.
Hey, solar power.
Yeah. Get out of the elements. All right, we're going to take off.
Okay,
Nice to meet you. My name's Cal.
Cal and Brent.
Nice to meet you, Brent.
Yeah, good to meet you.
Come on, Shaggy.
All right. Some random dog just showed up. You had to calm Max down a little bit. 75% to infinity is in the house. You know what? Brent's gotta take a bit of a piss here. So just hang on. I forgot I had a beverage too. I had a slushy and now it's a liquidy. Oh, sorry about the interruption. The off-leash dog just roaming around and said, "Come say hi to Max." What's behind the cameras, Mitch? Yeah. We were surprised with the 5 felonies for Bartel and the dirty breakup. The women's would put Direct D in jail. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to come to jail for Direct D at this point. I think it's hilarious with the whole credit card thing. That's pretty humiliating. That's borderline wholesome tweak. Um, yeah, we got a great liquidy here. It used to be an iced chiller. Now it's just somewhat chilled with some half frozen sludge in here. But it's still tasty as all get out. Uh, yeah, the Yeti cooler thing. Like, is that a synchronicity, or did we know about the Yeti coolers before she was dubbed the bearded Yeti? Or I thought that was I think that was the universe just saying, Larata, I see you, I like you. You were right all along. You're always right, Larata. Larata always wins. Larata owns everything. That's how I took that. That was somewhat poetic. The poetry of the universe. That's what that was. But yeah, so now it's the great Yeti Cooler Gate of 2026. Uh, Epic, absolutely epic. Yeah, Max had to deal with Shaggy, some tweaker mutt, just walking around off leash. Canadians are so polite. I would have said, "What the fuck?" Well, could have, should have said, "What the fuck?" But it's more watching Max. As long as he behaves, he did get attacked over in Clearwater, that retard dog. So as long as he's cool, I'm cool. It's not terrible that there's an off leash dog, although I think dogs should be on a leash. Take off, eh? That was Cal. Afternoon Tweakahs. Yeah, Tuesdays are made for Tweakahs. Uh, I'm going to start reading Aiden's chats with a Canadian accent, eh? Uh, what's that saying? You want a liquidy? Like right in your throat? Anybody willing to help Wassa? Sugary water, yes. Purple sugar water. Yeah, I think it's grape flavored. Grape Kool-Aid. Drink the grape Kool-Aid slushy. I want a liquidy from the back. From the back, right? Um, yeah, that was the poetic completing the circle. Is that the Yeti cooler thing was maybe the writers of this particular story arc were holding that back. They were waiting to see what Larata had to say about and then the Yeti cooler thing was dumped in there just to give us a little nod. But I think that might be just the universe giving us a little tip of the hat there. I think that's what that was. Stars align. Yeah, yeah. I didn't think. I think the bearded Yeti moniker was uh, was was minted long before anybody knew about any Yeti coolers. And hearing DirectD talking about Yeti coolers, probably knowing that we all referred to her as the Yeti. That was I don't want to say chef's kiss because that's a Todd thing, but that was like DirectD taking it like from the back. That was divine. That that was that was the Lord, most certainly. What is it? Uh, Oot and a boot. Danger Ranger. Yeah, we were talking about Danger a little while ago. I made a brief. I haven't really followed Danger, and then through Bow and the whole Maddie thing. Hats off to Maddie. We love you, Maddie. I don't know what to believe with all the Scorn Lover stuff, but it's tweaky and fun to watch GS dive headfirst. Uh, Danger is a scrawny, shaggy looking one. Yeah, I'm not too up on the Danger lore, so I thought Maddie and Danger were the deal, right? Danger's with Maddie, telling her to shut up. Shut up, Maddie. No, you shut up. I guess Bao is still waiting. Oh, well, let me grab a power pack. If you send me a 25-cent super chat, I'll be able to stream for another hour. We're going to set a goal of 200 super chats over the next 20 minutes. By all means, you could go on that Googler and find the Buy Me a Coffee link, which I don't have linked. And Aaron, that 350 you made 20 minutes ago, take about probably entitled to about 90% of that at this point. Just buy me a coffee, look for Brent Shimko, send money, meow. Danger was threatening Bao? He put a hit out on him? Fully embrace the Mississippi waterfall? I don't know what that's referencing. Again, I'm not up on the Danger lore. Nina Weed in the house. Good evening, Tweaky interweb freaks. Yes, you got it. Uh, see, a lot of this tweak content, I really do get filtered through the leech streams. So it's not re-leech because you can't re-leech leeching. It's just leech stream. So I don't think I've ever gone and looked at any of Danger's content apart from what I see. I did look up VC's content. There was a good chimp out like a month ago on VC live in the old trap house, was screaming and a chimping out on one of the crack hoes there. Uh, but yeah, as of late, the whole Todd saga, like we kind of pointed out ad nauseum on this platform. Anyway, it's not that captivating. It's just the same old, same old. The Yeti cooler thing has been kind of the spark, the divine spark that kind of is like it keeps you going, like keeps you in to the point. It's like, what else? What other little jokes does the universe have to play on Direct D at this point? You know, because that's what we're here for. Just dunking and goofing on Direct D at this point. I don't even want to goof on Billy Barthel or Secret Scal at this point because they're just deplorables. But Direct D is like, I, I would I would love to see your demise, but your humiliation means that much more to me. So the Yeti cooler thing was uh, pretty much like the pinnacle of beauty in the last month of the Todd uh, saga, for lack of a better term. For her to run, for Sasha, what's her name, Heather, to run straight to Todd, I think that was tweaky and fun. I don't know what. I mean, from what we're to believe from Heather's testimony, she was told to hate on anybody in the Chris Ryder Todd camp. So I guess she sees that wasn't probably the direction she wanted to take her life at this point. You know, that wasn't a path she was willing to travel. So likewise, staying in the desert with a tweaker and a toothless boomer with a broken ankle that does yoga in high heels, it's like, nah, we're not doing that either. So whatever. I guess she told Directy, you can suck on it from the back. Danger almost got it on with some blacks. Probably a mosquito. But yeah, I can't help you with danger content because I'm not really following it. Allegedly in Minecraft, yeah. But uh, but yeah, we gotta get camp set up here. Here's the old fishing creek. Looks like there's a freshly fallen tree here. Let's flip you around. Get you. I gotta find a way to get down there. There's some other spots that are a little more accessible for creek fishing. But I got the sound of some gurgling Manitoba creeks right behind my campsite here. This is me. There's Max under the truck. There's my studio. There's the lake. We're gonna go get the old tent set up. in a little bit. I don't know if any of you guys were still watching. Caught me in the A-frame last year. I was in that little A-frame, basically a wooden tent right there. There's that's where a lot of the RVs are set up. This used to be a gravel pit, so there's another active gravel pit on the other side of the road. Beyond that little ridge up there, there's some more land owned by the same people that own this property. Likewise, that creek, they probably got another 100 acres behind that tree line. Another 100 acres, you know, beyond that that little rise there. Then across the road that way, that's the main resort. This is actually something that was just opened up a couple of years ago. But this was the gravel pit over here when it was actively being mined for sand and stone. So there's some stocked trout in here. There's some jackfish, northern pike, otherwise known as northern pike. I didn't catch any trout last fall, but I did hook northern pike in here. Call them snakes, jackfish. Then in the creek, there's more northern pike as well as brook trout. These little brook trout that I was hammering last year. Every cast, I'd have a bite. So if you follow this road down that way and go that way, there's some really good fishing spots. So maybe we'll do some IRL fish streaming. Dragonflies, yeah. There's my beach over there. A couple of beach chairs just waiting. Got to get Max in water. There's my little paddle boat is across the lake there, or it was. I saw it there before. Yeah, there's. I don't know if you can see, where is it? Should be right, pretty much in the middle of the frame. There's a little paddle boat. Max and I were paddling around the lake here. I caught my fish. I went across that other shoreline there. I think I was standing around there when I got my jack. I forget exactly where. Well, I'll get in the paddle boat and do some trolling around, some casting. There's another nice little spot. Not gonna go for a long walk, but I can cast right off the shore here. Let's see, like here's the old Super Duty. There's nobody else tenting here. I thought there was fire pits at these tent sites. We'll grab a fire pit. That's purple martins. Uh-oh. Where's their nest? Oh no, those are orioles or red-headed blackbirds. Let's see. Yeah, there's a little spot here I was casting from too. There's a bunch of weeds here. Little sandy beach areas. So I can do some casting right off ashore here. Oh, let's zoom out there. That's better. Yeah, these birds are not happy with me. Just have a nest there. But yeah, this is a nice spot. So after I sold the house, I had been staying in that. I stayed in that A-frame for about a week, and then where those RVs are, I had parked my RV when I first bought it, getting it ready for the road. There's another beach area. The main beach area is where that little shelter is. Yeah, I don't know where they were flying up in that big tree. Whoops. In this big tree. But yeah, they could be. Let's see what. He's so pissed. That guy right there, giving me a hard time. I have to give him the La Rata treatment. Then over by that row of RVs, there's a bathroom and shower. It's a nice place. And then across the road at the main resort, see where that hydro pole is? There's more cabins to rent and lots of RV pull-in sites and tent sites and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, where I am out here, it's kind of away from the crowd. It's not terribly busy here. Those RVs are there for the summer. I imagine on the weekend it gets pretty busy here. But on Tuesday, it's pretty chill. There's nobody at the beach. It's only in like the mid 70s today, so it's not terribly warm today. It was hot on the weekend. It got into the 90s on the weekend here. And it's supposed to get into the mid to high 90s this weekend. So we make our way back to our formerly grape slushified beverage. Take a few more sips. See what you guys have had to say. Yeah, that bird was pissed. I'm keeping an eye out for golf clubs too. I got to get a set of golf clubs. I do need to get back in golf. My shoulder is feeling much better. I don't know how much I talked about this, but I had some real issues with my shoulder over the winter. When I started working on the Power Stroke, the old 6-liter Power Smoke when I was in BC, I did something. It's still a little tender. I think it's my C5 cervical vertebrae. I think something went a little wonky with one of my discs there. Still tender, but I had a lot of numbness, lots of tingling and loss of feeling in these two fingers, and a lot of shoulder pain. So the shoulder pain is going away. I think I've been swinging the golf club from time to time, but I haven't gone hitting balls yet. I think I only have one club. I think I have a putter and a ladies driver. I just swing it just to keep the swing groove going, but I was looking at used clubs on Marketplace the other day, so I might have to make some intentioned effort to get back on the links, so that when I do run into Vietnamese tweaker cheat golfers, I might be able to show them how it's really done. Shooting a 9 on a Muni? What the hell? Like, who does that? Yes, Pacific Ocean. Yep. So yeah, I forget if you got the brief synopsis of the last week or two. So for those of you who may have come in late, long ago, back in June 2026, around the 23rd, which was a Tuesday, well, exactly 2 weeks ago from today, I departed from Clearwater, British Columbia. I had recruited a friend of mine who was willing to drive this truck with a car carrier, which was loaded with his car. And then I drove the RV, with Max and all my shit that I was taking back to Manitoba. And so we left on a Tuesday morning, 10:30 in the morning, from Clearwater, BC. Arrived in Winnipeg, Manitoba at 9:30 local time. So our door-to-door travel was approximately 30 hours, which isn't too bad. Uh, I was planning on doing some streaming, but we were kind of pushing a pretty hectic pace. Like there wasn't time to just sit around and kind of set up live streams and shit. So I was hoping to do that, but my traveling companion, not Max, the driver, he was in a bit of a rush to get back to Manitoba because he had booked a week off from his work back in Clearwater. So he was going to spend some time visiting some friends and family here, and then the plan was after we got here, he was going to take his car, go on his way, and then drive back to BC. So I basically paid for the leg of his trip to get here, and then he was on his own to get back. So then I had the truck, my dog, and my RV at my storage unit in Winnipeg, and was waiting to park at my buddy's lot just outside of Winnipeg, about 15 minutes outside the city, which he purchased this spring in anticipation of building his own personal home there. Well, it's been so damn rainy for the last month and a half that he hasn't been able to get much done, and we really couldn't even. Here's one of the little bloodsuckers. Look at that. There you go. Mosquito soup. A big fat freak. I ended up having to camp out in the storage yard, which another friend of mine, he's the security guy there. He's basically a homeless guy. And it was kind of utter chaos for the last 2 weeks. Well, 13 days, 12 days. Yesterday, we finally moved my truck and RV onto my buddy's lot outside of Winnipeg. So the RV is parked there. I want to come back to Grunthal here, pick up some mail, chill out for a bit. We're still waiting. He hasn't even got a driveway in. I got a hangnail. He hasn't even got his driveway in, let alone any permits to do much of anything. So I'll be helping him with his home build through the summer and then heading back to Winnipeg. But today I just decided to come back here, spend the night, do a tenting, weenie roast, fishing expedition, live stream, tweak content, sorry ass stream, weigh in on the sad situation of YouTube and pretty much the whole of the internet as we know it, as a result of Todd. And so yeah, I'll be heading back to my locale closer to Winnipeg tomorrow. We'll see what kind of work we can get done. There's not a lot. We're waiting for a skid steer to show up, waiting for gravel to get delivered. But yeah, I think I'll just pitch a tent, grab the fishing rods, package of hot dogs, some ketchup, some mustard. I forgot the mayo. I came here without mayo, but I think I can. I could probably last. I think I can last an overnight trip without mayo. I might have to run to town. We'll see. Um, but I got Dr. Peppers. I got coffee. I got a coffee pot and I got some coffee. I got this purple drink. I've got fishing rods. I got a dog, and that's about all I need. I think I got a sleeping bag or whatever. Doesn't look like it's gonna rain, so that's good. I got a lake. I got a creek. I got everything I need. I got some wood for my weenie roast. Life is good. Blue jays are always assholes. Tiny birds chasing big birds. Oh, where is this? This is uh, this is 3 miles west and 2 miles south of where my former homestead was. So we sold the farm last fall or last summer. Actually, right around this time. Sold at the end of June, and then I had till middle of September to vacate for possession. Or did it sell in July? No, it sold. It sold end of July. We put it on the market right around this time last year, and it sold in a week. So it was just 3 miles yonder, and 2 miles that away. And this here is a campground near Grunthal, Manitoba. I had stayed here last fall when I became officially homeless. I purchased the RV. I had done this, I've done that. Stayed here, made my way out west to BC, spent the winter there. Now I'm back here, just kind of slumming around. And so I'll be spending the summer closer to Winnipeg, but Grunthal, I still like this community. There's a few people I saw at the Red Wing Diner today that had a brief chat with. And but we got a summer of work ahead of us, building my buddy's house. And unfortunately, there probably won't be a lot of streaming because Todd's basically retired. Well, I'm a Gen Xer. It's like we never retire, but work is kind of semi-optional at this point. So I'm full-time Tweakah, part-time subcontractor for dirty deeds done dirt cheap kind of thing. Like I don't try to define what I do, but not retired, but not retired, if that makes sense. Sorry about the mucus. It's a Savage Saint. Savage Saints crap. Mucusifying my throat. But yeah, we're somewhere here in Canada, uh, in Manitoba specifically, beside a lake from a former gravel pit, even more specifically. Because I like to be specifically specific, not generally specific. If you catch what my meaning there. But yeah, as far as live streaming goes, we'll do live streams. But as I said, Todd has essentially ruined the internet for everyone. I thought Bao was going to ruin the internet, to be honest. But it turns out Todd was the one that put the final nail in the coffin of the internet. A bunch of tweakers going by on quads. Yeah, we'll see what's happening tomorrow. I might have to go help out on a concrete pour. If not, I might spend another night here. But because I got the motocross. If you caught some live streams from the fall time, we went went to the motocross track where they have practice every Wednesday evening. That's a fun time. Just seeing the bikes rip around on really one of the better motocross tracks in southern Manitoba. There's also a rodeo that happens here in Grunthal. I should check see if there's any rodeos coming up. I know there'd definitely be one in August, but There's usually a big spring rodeo and one in the summer, and typically one towards the fall time. But I have no idea. I haven't looked at the rodeo, but yeah, it's one of those kind of world class rodeo venues. Well, not world class. It's the biggest rodeo in the universe, essentially, with a town of less than 1,000 people. But yeah, I haven't been to the rodeo in years. But yeah, Wednesday night motocross practice. That's always a fun time. Max loves that. He loves seeing everybody rip around doing those whoop-de-whoops and jumps. So you don't have a house, you just travel around, chill in cool place. Yep. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, we'll see about housing. Right now, the RV is the housing, and I tell you, I love it. Like I'm not saying RV life is the way to go, but having had a stupidly big house, I miss the property. Like we had 5 acres. We did all the shit. We had chickens, we had sheep, we had cows, we had pigs, we had dogs, cats, skunks, no badgers, uh, ducks, mice, all kinds of rats. We had rats. It wasn't quite Rat Narnia, but pretty darn close. Uh, so I did that for 7 years until wife decided something that this wasn't what she wanted to do or something. So we're separated just over a year, sold the house, bought the RV, and just kind of figuring out what to do next. So what I'm going to do next is think about ending the live stream at some point. I think Max wants some water. Just hold on. What I'm going to do next is get Max some water. At some point, we'll end the live stream. I'll set up my tent, grab my fishing rod, go head over the lake, see if anything's biting. At some point, I'll go to sleep. And then at some point, I'll wake up, Lord willing. And I'll go to the Red Wing Diner, have a bomb breakfast. This is what got me about British Columbia. There was not a single place in town where I was staying in Clearwater that had any kind of breakfast that was worthwhile. There was one good breakfast place, but they had a fire like in January or February. But for bacon and eggs, it was like $25 or something. Like it was crazy. Bacon, eggs, coffee, toast, hash browns. It was like $25. It was tasty and good, but Red Wing Diner. If you want breakfast, go to the Red Wing Diner. So we'll have breakfast at the Red Wing and figure out what to do from there. And then we'll build a house. Not my house, but somebody else's house. Then I'll go back to BC sometime before the snow flies here. And I'll do something in BC, which remains to be seen. So. And you'll be part of it. Come along for the journey or whatever. We'll try to tweak out with dignity. We'll make pithy observations on other tweakers. Do you see the Northern Lights? Oh yeah, yeah, we got Northern Lights. Don't see any right now. Could be because it's a little too bright out yet. But was it maybe 2 or 3 years ago? There were some Northern Lights right over the old homestead. call it a homestead. I mean, it was a house that was built in 2000, so it was a modern house, a big house. It was big. But we had some northern lights, and they were swirling like right above us. So like normally you see pictures on the internet or online or in books. You guys know what a book is? Like in books, you used to be able to go look at books, and they'd have pictures in them sometimes, and there'd be like a picture, or maybe you've seen a northern lights on. Actually, I did a short of some northern lights I saw while driving. Look that up somewhere on this channel, probably under shorts. Uh, but normally they're in very straight, uniform lines, somewhat wavy. But these were just swirling like in all different directions right above us. It was crazy and very, very bright and brilliant. So I had never seen northern lights quite like that. But yeah, we get northern lights, and I'm only 26 miles from the U.S. border here. If I go, let's see. You see that rock there? If I go 26 miles past that rock, I'm at Minnesota. So that rock right there. Yeah, if I go in that direction, as the jailbird flies, I'd be in America. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I like this area. A little bit of not homesickness or reminiscing, but it's just comfy here. So nice and quiet. Other than this detestable gurgling creek right behind my campsite. God, what a horrific sound. I'd rather be in a Connex desert somewhere in Arizona listening to Desert Jim Carrey talking like this on live streams about doing neat stuff with DirectD. DirectD is my friend. DirectD has sex with ladies that come into the Connex. It's really great and tweaky. Subscribe to Desert Gnome. I broke my ankle, but Chris Ruff had nothing to do with it. It was me because I was wearing high heels in the desert, and I tripped on a goat and fell in the dookie, and there was a diaper there too. So subscribe to Christopher Ruff's channel and Desert Gnome for great content like this. And maybe I'll show you my tits. These tits. See the tits? But now I gotta go back on the couch and uh, smoke uh, drugs. Right? So if you want to support this kind of content, send super chats, or go to buy me a coffee, and whatever. We'll do more impersonations of tweakers, but I won't do an impersonation of Secret Scal. So that just, I'm afraid of going to hell. And I won't do Killamilla impersonations because that's just wrong. But there might be some lispy DirectD impersonations. He does that list. He does the S's because he's obsessed with. They're obsessed with my ass. You faggots. Todd. Yeah, I'll fuck you up, old man. When I come to Kentucky, didn't Tweaker DV's family leave like a month before the? I don't know. It was, yeah, it was pretty close. Like that happened sometime over the winter, maybe last fall. Uh, I I mean, what was that? Season 6. Uh, it's hard to say exactly the time frame when the ogre left with the ogrelings. Maybe Baby Ogre can fill us in. Although I think Baby Ogre does go to and from occasionally, or maybe Baby Ogre got left behind or something. It's a little unclear. But in any case, yeah, Adriana left. And then there was some civil proceedings that were happening that all came out. And then there was the first baby mama that's got some tweakery shit going on with her spawn that apparently Chris Ruff is a progeny. Like it's just it's all very weird. And then two lot lizards show up. Desert Jim Carrey was the first one with the tits, and then Heather with the inverted nipple tits or whatever the dented concave uh, breastises. She showed up with a 6-year-old, a bunch of dogs, cats, Yeti coolers, a bunch of knickknacks, and she was supposed to make T-shirts or something allegedly on Minecraft. And so yeah, there was a chain of events that took place in rapid succession. Mitch knows the whole story, but he's not saying anything. So we're just kind of having to unravel all the details as we go. But I think the picture is, yeah, the blender. I still, well, apparently that uh, I've heard that the eBay page was shut down. I was interested in the blender if they were willing to autoclave it, but I think that link is gone. I think the eBay store is done. Did anybody get any of the made in China, the authentic made in China mall swords? Did any Laratas score those? They're real swords, you know. Any of you motherfuckers think you're gonna come around my place? I got 3 words for you: swords and crossbows. They'll fuck you up. I can't even do his hack. His oh that those lungs, the tar in those lungs. Oh my gosh, I think it's full blown emphysema at this point. It's still there. The blender sold. Fuck. I knew I should have moved on that. Damn it. Fuck me. Blender sold? No. No, 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 no. The blender sold. Mitch gave the mini fridge. There's still a Beanie Baby up for grabs. Stoffel, you better not be shitting me. Is that blender really gone? Shit. Well, I guess you snooze, you lose. Congratulations to the new owner of Slightly used, slightly soiled, out of warranty blender that I wanted. Oh well. Yeah, I'm not in the market for a Beanie Baby or a ball sword. But, 1,000 Beanie Babies, yeah. Oh, we might have a buyer here. Cue the audit. This is getting the checkbook out. Or getting the Capital One card. I wonder if Heather put any Beanie Babies on the Capital One card. We'll never know. Well, yeah, we might know. Maybe Georgia Transparency will get to Beanie Baby Gate, the Beanie Baby scandal, the Beanie Baby Savage Saints scandal, the bingo scandal. No, just one Beanie Baby. Whoa, 1K or best offer. Well, I would offer $1. Card is maxed. Okay. Like, is it live auction there? Or is there an end date, or is it just available at any time, at any price? So, so I guess that does bring up another detail: is that DirectD is a brokey, uh, employed by secret scallywag, no less. Uh, yeah, that's kind of a little bit of comeuppance there as well. So whether it's Adriana's land, or Adriana's blender, or Adriana's Beanie Baby, or SJVT's skateboard that he gave to DirectD's son, uh, DirectD needs to sell it all to keep his goat ranch going, to pay the property taxes, to pay the water tank guy, to buy a new battery for his solar setup. Whatever. DirectD, I have questions. But yeah, that is a question I would have for Sasha. Did you know he had a YouTube channel? And if you knew he had a YouTube channel, did you bother watching anything that he's posted? Well, another detail, right around the time that Sasha was moving in, it seemed like he pulled a bunch of his live content down, right? True story. Like, wasn't it right around, like, when did she move in there? About 3 months ago? Like, didn't he take down a ton of his live content right around the time she moved in there? I thought he was trying to hide evidence, but maybe it was just he was trying to hide his tweakiness from her. That could have been JJ related. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I just made the connection. Like, maybe he didn't want all the lot lizards seeing what kind of lot lizard lease offering landholder he was. Because apparently Sasha had a lease with him. Stay as long as you want, as long as whatever. She did know when she was in Florida, Dookie was helping her with a hit and run car. Oh, he was giving her legal help? Wonderful. She's lucky she's not in prison. Uh, okay, somebody decided they're going to mow the lawn here. It's going to get really loud, I think, very shortly. So we might just be ending this live stream because of logistical reasons. We'll see. What is this? that a freaking lawnmower or a rock chucker? Or what is this? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to shout over that. I mean, it's not super loud. Let's see. Give it a couple more minutes. Don't let that stop you from sending the super chats. Let's see. Brokey, bad credit. It's hard to say what that tweaker's doing when his wife left. He bought a Tahoe. Well, that's your first mistake. Transmission went out, and now he has an Expedition there. That's even a bigger mistake. Those Expeditions have those 6 liters as well. And I'm a 6-liter guy. I love them. But if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, they're going to eat you alive. Not in Saskatchewan. No. No, I'm in Manitoba. Yeah, clapped out Chevy Tahoe that needs a transmission. If you need a transmission direct D, I could probably hook you up. But I probably wouldn't help you just out of spite because whatever. It is what it is. You banned me. You Google banned me. Maybe if you un-Google banned me, I might help you with a Tahoe transmission. But yeah, I hope that Expedition hangs around your neck like a leaded weight, dragging you down because it's going to. That thing is going to. It's not going to bankrupt you, but you'll wish you were in jail than have to deal with an Expedition. Yeah. And then you get Savage Saints to issue credit cards to try to keep these vehicles on the road. I clapped out former police cruiser Charger. Like, is it an SRT? Like, it's not a Hellcat or anything. Or Scat Pack. Like, it's not a. It's not one of those striker cars. Like, it's not a stolen Scat Pack that the police claimed and put it in their fleet. It's just one of those SXD Chargers that may or may not start on any given day. That has a headliner that was made up of the carpet stolen from a local daycare, most likely. Basic 5.7, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. One of those police cruisers that spend probably 20 hours out of every 24 hours just sitting there idling while the cops are on call. Like those cop cars, they don't shut them off. They just sit there and idle, whether they're cruising around or whatever. Because they keep a lot of those drugs, as Narcan and stuff, like in the trunk, and it needs to be climate controlled. So they typically don't shut those cars off ever, unless it's a dedicated vehicle and your shift is over. But if if multiple officers are using the same vehicle, like that car never got shut off during the time it was in service. So that's what he bought as a daily driver. Wasn't there an F-150 there as well with the Triton V8? Again, Ford's possibly greatest crime against humanity. The 5.4-liter Ford. You bought one of those too? That's part of your fleet. Uh, The Gen 3 Hemi doesn't oil the cam at idle, it just splash. Yeah, so that's what he bought. A former police Charger, a 5.4 F-150, an Expedition now, and a Tahoe with no transmission. What other kind of glorious vehicle purchases have you made? The first version of the 5.4, you probably didn't get the first version. The 5.4 conceptually, like any vehicle, if you take care of them, if they've had proper service intervals, like with the 5.4, it's a sludge buildup. So if you stretch out the oil changes, the thing is fucked. Any infernal combustion engine motor is gonna make you pay if you do extended oil changes. But yeah, those cam phasers and the spark plug issues those ones had, they again were able to be purchased really cheap because the owner realized this thing is a piece of shit because I didn't take care of it. So really, I'm the piece of shit. Uh, the exhaust rots off. Yeah, the exhaust bolts, and then you go to O'Reilly's for exhaust bolts, and then before you know it, Dan Deloria is hassling you, and uh, but yeah, those 5.4s. I mean, it was a modular motor. If the Ford Super Duties of that era came with a V10, it was basically a 5.4 with an extra bank of cylinders. It was like an 8-cylinder with an extra module, an extra bank, not an extra bank, an extra 2 cylinders bolted to the end of the crankcase. So maybe not a terrible uh, engineering concept, but just being prone to failure and having the known issues for someone like Chris Ruff to jump into a purchase like that, he probably got it dirt cheap because it wasn't worth much. So, but who knows? Maybe he traded it for a bunch of goats. I don't know how they do business out there in Concho County or Apache County or wherever he is, but he probably didn't get the good running one, as you say, T-Man. He probably got a piece of shit. Uh, yeah, like Jethro and T-Man bring up. I haven't done work on the 5.4s. I asked the mechanic before I bought a F-150, a 2014 F-150 with a 5 liter. Wonderful truck. Those it was essentially the Ford 305, right? Virtually bulletproof. Like just lots of power, reliable, fantastic motor. But before I found that one, I was looking and looking and looking for uh, an F-150 with the 5 liter until I finally found it. And I asked a buddy of mine, "What do you think of the 5.4s?" He's like, "Well, if you like fixing your vehicle, and they're great." Okay, well, what do you have to say about the 5 liter engines? It's like, I can't say much. I've never worked on one. They they don't. There's you just get in and go and maintain it, of course. But he said, if you like working on engines, get the 5.4. But the V10 is basically the 5.4 liter with 2 extra cylinders crazy glued to the back of it. So yeah, 417 cubic inch. So if you're a do-it-yourself mechanic or mechanically inclined, like I know people that have had success with them, but it's essentially the same platform as the 5.4. Only they put in the Super Duty, the 3/4 ton and up series. I don't know if the vans, the E3 350s came with that, if that was offered, but in the Super Duty light truck line, the V10s were part. I saw a Power Stroke, or not a Super Duty F250 with a 5.4 in it. I thought, what? That's just wrong. So I was not interested in that, but I didn't realize they offered the 5.4 on the Super Duty until I came across that one. Haja Concho is the new eBay name. Same items. Oh, okay. But getting back to what Jethro says, oh my gosh, I put so many exhaust manifolds and drilled out so many exhaust bolts on those engines. If you wanted to be a mechanic and just specialize in the 5.4s, like you'd have business pretty much nonstop, just replacing cam phasers, fixing the fuck ups on the when somebody tries to replace their own spark plugs, because you need to extract those broken spark plugs because they're gonna break most likely. And as I say, drilling out the exhaust bolts. So the problems are known, but they're kind of they can be fatal problems. Like yeah, you snap an exhaust bolt, you just turned a fairly easy job into kind of what could turn into an all-day nightmare to remove one bolt. But if you were an aspiring mechanic and just told people bring the 5.4s in, I'll fix them, you'd have business steady. Likewise with the 6 liters, I was thinking of getting into that, just opening up a shop or even doing it on the side, just specializing in 6 liters, 6 liter Power Strokes. They're easy to work on, and they have known failures, and they could be pricey to fix, but it's pretty easy work, really. I mean, I rebuilt my own injectors and got it from British Columbia to here when the thing wouldn't even start 2 months ago. It's all very straightforward, but if you're living in a Connex, uh, and he does have a house out there in Concho County or Apache County. It's a beautiful house. It smells actually pretty good, from what I hear from people on the internet. But it's basically the studio, and there's a bathroom off to one side, and the kitchen, and the couch, and the bed. So it's a house. Like it's a legit house. I don't know what his tool shop or his mechanic shop is like, but maybe DirectD is somehow finds time between streaming and custody civil cases and evicting tenants slash girlfriends while not owning any guns and reacting to Todd's live streams and getting on Stone Vet panels and coughing his lungs out. Maybe he's got time to work on all these vehicles. Like maybe he's, as we speak, he's out there wrenching, just tuning them things up. I don't know, but I think we'll discover more of his bad decision making as time progresses. So we'll just see again the circling of the toilet bowl turd as it swirls its way down. Because it sounds like these vehicles he's got are going to sink him. I mean, a $200 hotel and pizza charge almost caused the whole operation to fold. Uh, it is what it is. Guy has a 2010 F-150. I don't know what it has. It's a bit beat up, work truck from hauling stuff. But only runs and wants 1,000. Seems like a no peeper for a fixer upper. $1,000. You can get a vehicle for $1,000 running, and it'll pass safety inspection. Like, I mean, $1,000. That's 2 carts of groceries nowadays, right? That's 2 trips to Costco. Yeah, even if it's got a clapped out 5.4, what do you got to lose? Especially if you know how to fix stuff. But yeah, I'm not seeing Christopher Ruff dedicating a ton of time to vehicle maintenance, especially with the goats and since you since I was walking around in the high heels. Uh, Chris has to milk the goats now and do the yoga instruction. But I could still jiggle my tits way over here on the couch. So subscribe to Desert Gnome, and then I'll be in Doofus Crest playing bingo because I like bingo. All right, lawnmower lady, she went way over yonder, so we're good for now. But hell, we're 3 hours in here. Yeah, I really should figure out what the hell I'm doing here. At least get my tent set up, make it look like I'm camping here instead of just squatting and loitering. I'm gonna get some fishing done. So yeah, we'll do more live stream sometime before the end of the summer, maybe before the end of the night. I don't know. Let's see. What else is happening on YouTube? Anything going on YouTube right now besides Todd ruining it for everybody? Is there anything exciting going on that I need to know about? Because at a certain point, making a point of uncovering all of Direct D's bad life decisions, that gets tedious too. I mean, I guess we could talk about my bad life decisions. I'd rather go fishing. But yeah, it's probably time for Max to have a little snack. I think is it supper time, Max? You ready for supper? Yeah, I'll get Max a little bite. Nope, nothing. Yeah, fishing it is then. All right. Well, we'll catch you on the next one. It won't be 3 weeks this time. I'll give you. I'll do a live stream. I think I've got a decent internet hookup at the building site where the house is going, so I should be able to live stream there. It's not 5G exactly, but it's something, and we'll take it from there. Glad to see you all again. Thank you for coming, King Chow Chow. You're always welcome in the chat. So until Todd decides to pollute the internet with more panels, I guess as you were, go find something constructive to do with your time. Go work on a 5.4 liter. Uh, you know, that's good, honest work. But as for me and my house, we going fishing. So thanks for coming. Thanks for leaving. Stay tweaky.